I will often read the same book over and over again, trying to absorb all of the information inside that book. I recently reread a book. I was actually listening to it, the audio copy of it, and it reminded me of what I'm not doing in my business. And when I was doing it in my business, I was seeing an amazing return on it. Coming up on today's episode is what you should be doing in your business, and more importantly, why. But first, a word from So, what we're going to be answering today is what's called the fortune is in the follow up. Now, I've talked about this briefly in the past, and that you should follow up with people. People don't make a decision until the 5th to 12th time they hear something, right? But here I want to actually demonstrate the fortune that comes in the follow up. What do I mean by that? Let me show you. So right here, if you've been watching the other videos in this playlist, and this is familiar to you, it's a service called Giru. If you want me to, or Giru, if you want me to build out your funnel and look at it, you just got to message me. You can go to caninebusinessbuilders.com. But I love this software because it lets me conceptualize and picture what my business should look like from a funnel perspective. So right over here where it says number 1, we have our traffic source. And in this case, we have 1,000 monthly visitors landing on a opt-in page. This could be a free webinar. This could be a free training. This could be a PDF. This could be your book. This could be a exclusive interview with a dog trainer, something like that, or a case study, a success story. And what we have here is a opt-in rate of 35%, which is what most of my lead generation pages convert at. You're getting random people who are out in the internet who say, hey, that looks interesting. I want to check that out. They go to this page. They say, hey, here's my email. Give me the free thing. And so we get 35% or so people to opt in that. We then send them to a thank you page where they can download that free PDF or get access to the video or whatever it may be. And then on that page, we encourage them to check out our services, whatever that may be. So we're going to say that there's a 20% right here. 20% of the people who land on this thank you page say, yeah, I'm interested to see what you're selling, right? What courses you have, maybe the training that you do, the one-on-one coaching, the board and train program, whatever it may be. So 20% of those people go to a sales page. Out of the sales page, we're going to say pretty well because we've built up some authority, we've built up some credibility, they trust us, we have a relationship. Let's say 50% of the people end up purchasing a $1,000 offer. And then they go to an order form, they put in their information, bada bing, bada boom. And you'd put another thank you page here at the end. I just didn't want to be too complicated in today's video. So you'll also notice down here is an email sequence. We have 5 emails, which could go over the course of a week, right? You could do Monday through Friday. You could do the day that they subscribe to your email list, that you get their email, 2 days later, 3 days later, 5 days later, 7 days later, that kind of thing. It's really up to you and your audience and what your personality is. Some people like to do 5 emails in a day. I think that's a bit much, and most people aren't going to respond to those emails. But if you pace it out and you make it engaging and you want people to open up their emails, and in this case, we have a open up rate of 75%, which means the subject line is good, the content is good, people are tuning in to these emails to see what's going on, and a click-through rate of 25%, which means you have a pretty good call to action. You're talking specifically to that person, you know what their problems are, and you're driving them back to the sales page. So what I want to show you, and I want to make sure you guys see this, okay. So right here over to the right, you'll see a simulation. And so what we're going to do is we're going to have 1,000 people land on this opt-in page, 35 people convert, we get 20% people on the thank you page to go to the sales page. Out of that, they go to the order form. So 1,000 people show up, 350 people opt in. That's pretty good. Out of the 350 people, 70 people go to the sales page. Out of 70 people, 35 people end up purchasing. So right then, let's say this was monthly, you'd make $35,000, which is fantastic. Now, maybe you can't take on 35 clients. We're just looking at the numbers here. Maybe you're selling a $1,000 course. Then, yeah, you could sell that infinitely. But if you're doing a board and train, maybe you can't take 35 clients on a month. But here's the beauty of it. So if we get someone here, they've opted in, now we get their email. We're going to bring it down here. And this is just the first email. We're going to connect it to this sales page. You see the line here? So they opted in. We got their email. They went to the thank you page. And we're going to add them to this email sequence. So the first email We tell them a good story. We build a connection. We build some type of a deeper relationship with them. Maybe we share our backstory, a little bit more about why we're in business, those types of things. And at the end of it, we say, hey, we noticed that you didn't look into this offer. We want to give you another opportunity to check it out. Click this button. There you go. So we're going to see how this changes things, right? We'll simulate. Here we go. So 350 people ended on this email list, and 87% at a click-through rate of 25%, which is pretty good, end up checking out the sales page, which means all we did was increase the number of people that saw our offer that originally didn't, right? The more people you get to see something, the more people you get to see something, the less good the page has to be, right? It can be a bad page. It can convert at a really bad number, and you just have a better chance because the numbers are up. If you have low numbers, you need a lot of work that's put into the sales page. It has to be a better sales page. The copy has to be good. The messaging has to be good. You practically have to give away stuff for free to build value. If we can get more people to the page, then we can convert at a lower number, and it'll still be beneficial to us. So in this case, instead of having the 75 people show up, we have 157, which means we've practically doubled, right? It was 35 before, so now it's 78. We've doubled your monthly revenue just by adding one email and asking people to come back. We built a stronger relationship. Maybe we showed them a testimonial and we had them come back. So now what happens if we add a second page? So the second email just sends them to the sales page again. And let's see what happens. I don't think it's going to double it this time, but it might do. Yeah, okay, so it didn't double it quite yet, right? But it added a lot more people to the page. Let's do a third. And you kind of see the pattern here. The more opportunity I give people to see my offer and build a strong relationship with, the better it's all going to be. So here, we're going to add the last two. We started off with 35 people tuning into a $1,000 offer, so making $35,000 a month. And now you're making $167,000 just by adding five emails. Now, let's say that did not work out perfectly, right? Let's say those numbers did not convert those way. Let's say not everybody bought your offer. There wasn't a 50% conversion rate on the page. Let's say the emails didn't convert. Anyway, right? If it converted really poorly, it would still be better than not doing it. But if you have this system in place, and this is why I love systems so much, this is why I love when you're trying to build a habit or you're trying to train a dog, right? You put systems in place to make them as successful as possible. If you have a system like this, where you build out a funnel, you have a lead magnet that captures people's emails, and then you follow up with them to try to get them back onto the sales page, what ends up happening is you can optimize each piece of this over time. So the first email, what is it converting at? Are people opening the email? Oh, they are opening the email. Great. I'm going to leave that email alone. Let's work on the next email. Maybe it's not converting so well. Maybe only 5% instead of 25% of people are opening it. That's not good. So we need to do better at making the second email better. And so you make that one better until it converts at a number you're happy with, and then you move on to the next one. So you're constantly evolving and making it better and better and better. And the only way to do that is to look at the numbers. The only way to look at the numbers is to have a system in place that you can reliably count on. Now, tomorrow, I'm going to take this concept and we're going to add a piece to it. So make sure you stay tuned for tomorrow's video. If you want proven marketing funnels, make sure you click the link in the description for our client adventure map. Make sure you hit the subscribe button if you want to stay up to date with all of the videos we're posting here at Canine Pioneers. Thank you guys for watching, and I'll see you tomorrow.